of dating. So you get your drinks. Let me turn this off. Get your drink, get your notepad, get your pen, because school is in. School is in, and we are going to talk about in just a few seconds the stages of dating. And why is it important, especially for women, to understand the stages of dating? Because we didn't even really know that there was a stage. A lot of times what I get when clients come to me is the argument or the sadness and the brokenness that comes from a woman feeling like she's given her all to a relationship and she didn't feel like she got in return what she gave in the relationship. So she felt slighted, she felt used, she felt abused. And then as I ask questions, it becomes apparent to me that oftentimes we're not even in the type of relationships that we think we're in. See, the mind can play tricks on you. So oftentimes we think we're in a particular type of relationship and we're not. And when you don't know what you don't know, you will find yourself doing things in the name of love and then feeling broken and hurt because it didn't go the way you wanted it to go or that you thought it should go. So understanding the stages of relationship will keep you from or minimize you from having a broken heart. That's one thing it will do. The second thing, it will help you be wiser in choosing how much of yourself to give in a particular relationship that you're in. The third thing it will do is it will help you understand the mindset of the alpha male who you're considering yourself to be in a relationship with, and understand why it is a lot of times that men pull away, get turned off, and or things don't work out, or why some men go faster than other men. And usually we used to always say, it's the men that I don't like that seem to want to, be married to me or propose to me or whatever. But the ones that I truly, truly like, they move so slow, or they're stagnant, or he won't give me a ring, or we've been dating for 4 months, 3 months, and it just doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, but I'm just going to hang in there. So often I hear that in my practice. The other thing I heard that I hear in my practice as a love mentor and matchmaker is I hear women saying, yeah, he's the one, and I'm waiting on him to propose to me, or I'm gonna, try to get the ring. Although I teach a class on how to get the ring, and I also have how to get the ring as a digital download that you can get from the boutique, my Ready Woman boutique. But in getting the ring, it's about a mindset, not necessarily, going into a relationship just so that you can make sure he proposes to you. It's not about that. It is about you being prepared and understand how to be the type of woman that a man wants to give a ring to. So that's what Get the Ring program is about. But tonight I want to educate you as women, because although we're in a fast-paced world, and although men, we have this new dating age. This thing is hurting my hand. We have this new dating age where, anything goes, and women are doing and pursuing and all of that stuff. And men are giving their phone numbers to women, and women are taking it and calling and all of that stuff. Because we have all of that. Hey, Natalia. Because we have all that going on, we think it's okay and that it's right. But there is a way that seems right because everybody is doing it. But in the end, it doesn't give you the results that you want. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule. As I tell people, there's an exception to all rules. But 9 times out of 10, if you are a woman and you're dating a guy and you have in your mind, he's the one and I'm going to do everything I can to get that ring, I want to let you know that you're already losing. And the reason you're losing and the reason that's not going to work out for you is because it's like you're auditioning to be the wife. And when women know their power, they understand that they don't have to audition to be the wife. It is his role and his biological makeup that makes him pursue someone and take her as his wife. So if you feel like you're waiting around for the man to catch up to you and understand that you want to be his wife, you're already losing the battle. You're already doing the wrong thing. Because you're not supposed to be waiting around. And I don't care how good he is to you. And I don't care what he says to you. It's the behavior that you have to pay attention to. And so many women say they understand, oh yeah, I watch what he do. But you're saying that, but you're not doing that. And so I want to just make sure you guys understand, although men love a forward woman, they love sexy women, they love smart, articulate, go-getter women. However, if you take the opportunity away from him to pursue you, and if you take the opportunity where you're leading the relationship all the time, 9 times out of 10, if you do get married to the guy, you're going to be leading the relationship in your marriage, and it's going to frustrate you because you're going to feel like you don't have a man. Secondly, what's going to end up happening is you're going to feel like you need to do the things that a wife does for a man to keep him. And at the end of the day, he may still not stick with you, and he'll end up marrying the next girl next girl as soon as he leaves you or breaks up with you. So you want to be careful on how you're dating. And as I was saying, you know, this society, we're so lacking morals. But what I'm finding with real men, and hey, Tanisha, with real mature men and men who actually do want to get married, they just haven't found that ideal woman for them. They love beauty and aesthetics and confidence and happiness in a woman, but they want her to be the woman and they want to be the man. And what I mean by that is a lot of these men act like they want, you know, that forward, outspoken woman, but they really want a traditional woman. They really do. They really want that woman that is willing to cook, that woman that is willing, you know, to give him all the sex he can handle, that woman that is meek and allows him to be the man. So where does that leave us loud, alpha female and alpha women? It's us learning to be bilingual in our homes, in our relationships. Not saying that you can't be, you know, who you are at home, but what I'm saying is you can't be who you are to the point where he can't be a man, where he feels like he's being in competition, or you're dating and you're leading the date all the time. You're always doing everything and he doesn't have a lot to do because you're not allowing him to step up and be the man. So that was last week's conversation. So today, the stages of dating. Why is this important? Because oftentimes we as women, when we meet a man, we already done stamped him. If we like him, he look good, Natalia said, I just had this conversation with someone earlier this week. We have to learn how to show beta tendencies when dealing with our man. Yes, girl. Yes, we talked about this very deeply last week. It's not that you, and here's the thing, and I'm going to talk to you, Natalia. We're having a conversation. Anybody can talk to me. That's why I like doing this live. Here's the thing. We always feel like, because we're alpha women, that we got to be in charge all the time. But we have enough stuff to be in charge. We got to be in charge at the office. We got to be in charge of those kids. We got to be in charge of planning and planning meals or whatever. We got a lot. Our sorority, we're AKAs of sorority. We in charge a lot. So we have to learn that things will get done, that men want to be men, but we don't allow them the space to be a man. So we got to understand how to turn it on, turn it off. There's a time where he will want us to be in charge at home. But that's about learning our men and learning them enough to know when it's a time to yield, as we talked about last week, when it's a time to yield, and when it's a time to just go ahead and take charge. But we got to know the difference. And the reason we don't know the difference is because when we're in the dating process, we meet a guy that we like. When we meet a guy that we like, we've already said, that's mine. I'm going to be his wife. I can see myself having his children. We're already at the altar. We go from being just meeting. We met on Tinder. We met on Match.com. Till we all the way at the altar, all in a 48-hour period. You have one date with him. He made you feel really, really good, made you feel really special. You already on the phone with your girlfriend talking about, girl, he is the one. And I hate to be the one to bust your bubble, but he's not the one. I don't care how your toes feel, how your tingling feel on the inside, how your cootie cut might jump and beep, and how he just takes your breath away. He's not the one. He becomes the one when he tells you he's the one. He becomes the one when he puts that ring on your finger and you both are in agreement to the vision of where the relationship is going. That's when he becomes the one. Now, here's what we also do. And I just heard this. Somebody said, I'm going for the ring. I don't know what that means to go for the ring, but it's out of order. You as a woman should not have one man unless you are married. Yes, I said it. You should not just be having one man unless you are married. And the reason is because when you are with that one man and you're not married, because we as women have a tendency, we want to be wives. We naturally are nurturers. We are naturally doing the things that a wife would do. And so what that does is make him comfortable. When he gets comfortable, he's not feeling like doing anything else with you but whatever it is that you guys were doing. Now you go into overdrive because you want the ring, but he's so comfortable, he's not interested in giving you a ring. Not yet. Because he don't see a reason to give you a ring because you already given him everything a wife would give him. You've already pledged your heart to him, and he hasn't given you anything but probably some good dick and a couple of meals, and he probably paid one car note for you, maybe if that. Hey, Tony Coleman Brown. And so now you are jacked up when he don't ever give you the ring, and you've been in this relationship for 2 or 3 years. You done given this man everything like a wife would give her husband for 2 to 3 years, and you still never get the ring. And that is because you are unclear on what you're supposed to be doing in your dating process. So let's go there. Let's talk about the dating process, because I want to help you ladies not go from attraction, the first phase, all the way to I'm going for the ring. If there is one man and you trying to get this one man, you out of order. You're supposed to be having multiple men. Ask any of my clients. I keep laughing about this, but I contacted one of my clients because I had a guy that I wanted to match her with. I wasn't sure what, because we had ends our session some months ago, and I wasn't sure where she was in her dating. But the way I teach them, they actually do what I say do. So I contacted her and I was like, hey, I got this guy that may be a match for you. She said, oh, I'm good. I've got 3 that I'm juggling right now. I'm good. That's what's supposed to be happening. These guys are chasing after her, wooing her, wanting her. I just talked to another former client a couple days ago, and then she said, hey, this is boo number 1 and boo number 2. That's how it's supposed to be. These are non-married women. You are supposed to be enjoying your life and having fun and being courted by men who have what it is that you're looking for, and allowing them in their heart to say, oh my God, I know she's dating other guys. I don't want to risk the opportunity to lose her. So I'm going to snatch her up. I'm going to give her a ring. I'm going to do whatever she needs because I don't want to lose her. But we don't give guys the opportunity to do that. We're trying to snatch them up. Because we bored and we so ready to be married. We so ready to have somebody love us. We looking at our biological clock and we like, oh my God, I haven't had a baby yet. I'm almost 40. I'm 35, 37, 38. We're so busy doing that we've become the alpha males. Like I told you guys last week, we've become who we wanted to marry. And so because we're so busy putting our claws in one man and hoping that this one man is going to find us as his wife, that we're losing out on all the other men that are out there. Because you shut yourself down for one person who hasn't even promised you anything. Are you ladies following what I'm saying? Does it make sense of what I'm saying? Hey, Key So Talented, thank you for joining us. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Shoot me some hearts, respond, talk to me. Let me know you understand what I'm saying. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. So I don't want you ladies keep making that same mistake over and over, loaning and letting your body be used up by one man. And all these other men are out there to potentially want you, but you got your claws locked into one person that may or may not want you, that you auditioning for. Stop auditioning to be the wife. It is not an audition. You are to be happy living your life and entertaining different men, and you let them fight it out. So some people ask me the question, are they supposed to know about each other? Absolutely, because on the first date, when they ask you, well, you're so beautiful, why are you single? You say, because I am enjoying my life, I'm enjoying my work, and I'm just dating until I find the right one that I feel like can be the man that I've always wanted to be with. That's what you say. So right then and there, he knows you're dating. Yes, but what about when you don't have time to juggle more than one, but you're not pursuing him or you're not interested in the others? Okay, let me get this. Yes, but what about when you don't have time to juggle more than one? But okay, so you need at least 2. You need at least 2. Natalia, you need at least 2. But juggle is more than as many as you can handle. But you need at least 2. And why? Because number one, it keeps your attraction magnetism high. It hides your heart. It hides your heart so that you're not feeling like you got to give your body and yourself to one person. And the third thing is, a man loves when they know he has competition. If he knows there ain't no competition, if you a sad party, ain't nobody dating you, ain't nobody trying to take you out, he ain't going to want you either. He's going to think that there's something wrong with you. And therefore, he's going to try to get what he wants to get out of you and nothing or no more. But you're not pursuing him or you're not interested in the others. So dating a lot of guys is not about being interested in them. I call them comforters. I call them comforters. And what is a comforter? One of the comforters might, you need a hug one day, so he's a good hugger. Another comforter, he likes to drink wine and you like to drink wine. You go and drink wine with him. Another comforter likes to eat. I call those comforters. So you need as many comforters as you can handle. But if you put yourself in a way that says, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time, you're not going to have time. And so it's all about priorities. Do what you can get done, but a man needs to know that you are available to not just him, but to different men, that you have options. Because when they know you ain't got no options and you put everything into him, you are risking a heartbreak and you are risking, drama that you don't need, especially at this age. That's what you're risking. I hope that answered your question, Natalia. Let me know if that answered your question. Let me know if that answered your question. And ladies, feel free to ask questions while I'm speaking. I haven't even gotten to the stages of dating yet, but feel free to ask questions. I was trying to set it up to why it's important for us to date with wisdom and not date with our kitty cats and how, okay, good. Date with our kitty cats or how fine he is or, what kind of job he has and all that kind of stuff. It's important for us to date with wisdom in this day and time, okay? So, stage 1. So here's the other reason why it's important. Because there are 5 stages, there are 5 basic stages of dating that we, let me let you talk. No, you can keep asking me questions. I love that. That's why I'm here. It's called Between the Sheets. This is like, Between the Sheets for me is like when we used to have slumber parties. And we would be up on Friday nights talking, running our mouths, having good girlfriend gossip. But because we're all in different places, we got to do it through Facebook Live. So please don't feel like, you got to save it for the end and all that stuff. Please, it's fine. I love it. And it gives me more things to talk about. Y'all know I love to talk. I've been talking all my life. So, but anyway, with the 5 basic stages of dating, what ends up happening is the reason why sometimes dating seems so rough and people don't like to date and it feels awkward and we never can get anything accomplished. I need to get with you and be a guest on your show. Okay. So the reason why it feels like that is because, as I said earlier, women tend to be in one stage of the dating process and men tend to be in another stage of the dating process. And so we never get on the same accord. So there's always some friction, always some arguments, always some issues and challenges. And so I want to help you understand not only what the stages of dating are, but what happens in those stages. And then as a woman, how you're able to get on the same stage as your potential partner, right? And this is with all the guys that you're dating at the same time. This is with all of them. So I hope you got your pen and your notebook. And I'm going to take a little sip of my grown and sexy drink. Okay, stage number 1, attraction. Write this down, attraction. Stage number 1 of dating is attraction. Stage number 2 is called uncertainty. Uncertainty. Stage number 1 is attraction. Stage number 2 is uncertainty. Stage number 3 is exclusivity. Exclusivity. Stage number 3 is exclusivity. Stage number 4 is intimacy. Stage number 4 is intimacy. And then stage number 5 is engagement. Engagement. So I'll go through them again. Stage number 1 is attraction. Stage number 2 is uncertainty. Stage number 3 is exclusivity. Stage number 4 is intimacy. And stage number 5 is engagement, okay? So now that you got the stages, now let's kind of go and talk about each of those stages. So stage 1, attraction. This is the initial stage, and this is where you feel all the chemistry. This is where you feel like you want to be his baby's mama. He can't do no wrong. He's telling you everything you want to hear, how beautiful you are. He's calling you and you are just loving it. Y'all sitting on the phone for hours and hours and hours and you just can't get enough of each other. So much electricity and fire. When he calls, your heart starts pounding and all of that. That's the stage where we get lost in, because what I hear women saying, when we first got together, he was everything. He was just amazing. And then as we started dating, he became so, do you have the same insight classes for married couples season? Yes, I do, Barbie. I do. Barbie, hey, I know you. Hey, Barbie. I do. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. So, that's the stage where everything just feels so good. It's called the attraction phase, or it can be called interchanged with the honeymoon phase. And so the honeymoon phase is just that. You're honeymooning. It feels great. So then what happens with women is we think that the honeymoon phase is it's our knight in shining armor. He is our everything. That's who we're going to wake up and be married to every day of our life. Okay, Barbie. Okay. So we think that's who we're going to wake up to every day of our life. And so we start planning and plotting like, oh my God, he has everything on my checklist. He treats me great. But that's the honeymoon stage. That's only a phase. That's a season, okay? That's just a season. That is the opener. The opener to the next stages. That's just the opener. But we get lost in the honeymoon stages, and even in married relationships, when women do not like to be out of the honeymoon stage. Women think love is the honeymoon stage. Love is not the honeymoon stage. Love is being able to love that man through all the stages and him being able to love you through all the stages. So that's where we get stuck, and we start making a whole lot of decisions based on being in the honeymoon stage of the relationship. Okay, I will, Barbie. I definitely will. Yes, the appetizer. As when I'm in Red Lobster, I like my stuffed mushrooms, okay? That's the appetizer. That's not my Admiral Feast. That is the appetizer, okay? So that's what happens in the attraction phase. So a lot of women base their whole everything out of that honeymoon phase, and women just do not like to be out of the honeymoon phase. If they are out of that honeymoon phase, they feel like something is wrong with the relationship, okay? So now, the next stage, uncertainty. Uncertainty is the stage where you start to see the characteristics you don't really necessarily like. That's when you start seeing the inconsistencies in the stories. He stops calling you like he used to. Now you're talking about how busy you are. You're not going out as much. The conversations aren't as long. He seems like he's pulling away. And when he seems like he's pulling away, you start becoming frantic and start grasping for him, trying to figure out what's wrong with the relationship. Well, what's wrong? Well, just talk to me. Just communicate with me. I thought everything was okay. Well, just last month, you were bringing me roses every day. Now, I haven't even seen you but one time this month. Ladies, can I let you know that is normal? That is called the uncertainty. Uncertainty means the honeymoon phase have worn off, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to take this relationship any further. This is the reason why ladies should be dating multiple guys, as many as she can date. Because usually when a man gets to the uncertainty phase, he already knows if he really honestly wants to be with you or not. And if he's going to be with you, he kind of already knows where he wants the relationship to go. But during this stage, when they know that they're really not in love with you or as serious about you as you are about them, they start to pull back because they're trying to think. And although we think that men can be dogs, a lot of times they are too shy or too, I don't want to use the word shy, but they really don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't really want to come out. They're not great communicators initially. They don't want to come out and say, you know what, look, I had fun hanging out with you for the last 30 days, but that's all it was. They have a hard time saying that. Now, when he pulls back, you know he's pulling back. But then what do women do? We go into overdrive and try to win his affection and try to win his love. And we start auditioning for his love and start doing all the things a wife will do. So a man will stick around. If you're going to give him heaven and earth, he's going to stick around. But when you get tired of giving him heaven and earth, he's going to leave too because he's not invested. So that's the uncertainty stage. That's where he is not quite sure that he want to be with you. And for you, you might not be quite sure you want to be with him as well. So that's uncertainty. That's when you start to see things about the other person that you're just not sure about. And it's making you contemplate, do I really want to be with that person? But if you can get through the uncertainty phase, the next phase is exclusivity. This is usually the phase where the man is saying, look, I don't want you with nobody else. I just want you with me. You and I. It's just you and I. I want to take this a little bit more serious. He ain't proposing to you, but he's just saying, hey, I want you to be my woman. I want to see where this go. That's called, and if you agree, that's called exclusivity. That means you are agreeing to be with him and that you're going to let the other guys that you're dating go. Now, I call that enter at your own risk because this is just what I believe. You don't have to believe this. You don't have to do this. I'm saying this is a disclaimer. I did it and I have my clients do it and it works, but it may not work for everybody. But although I was exclusive with my husband before I married him, I still kept my booze on the side. So although I was exclusive meant to me, you are my main man and I am your main woman. I'm not having sex with anybody else. But if they call and they want to hang out, I'm going to hang out with them. Because exclusive just means you are pre-choosing me. It doesn't mean we married. So don't get confused exclusivity for marriage. They are two different things. And so you still have to make an arrangement with the exclusivity part. Listen, the men don't have all the cards. Don't give them your power. Women have a hell of a lot more power than they think. Preach, Barbie. That's why I'm here. Preach. That's it. Exclusivity does not mean forsake all others. You don't forsake all others until you standing up there saying your vows. Now, I'm saying that because it worked for me. I was not willing to pretend like I was somebody's wife and I didn't have a ring and we didn't say any vows. Hey, Kimberly, rules of engagement. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Barbie. So talk out exclusivity. Be open. You know, don't be sneaky about anything. That's one thing I didn't do. I wasn't sneaky about anything. To this day, I am not. Let me tell y'all, Boyo is so crazy sometimes. Every now and then, my ex-boyfriends and people will pop up to see if I'm still married, see if I'm still happy. And they want to carry on conversations and stuff. So Boyo won't be here until in 2 weeks. So I was telling Boyo, I said, guess who popped up out of the blue? So he kind of knows all my little ex-boyfriends. And I was telling him about, it's like 3 or 4 of them just popped up. And so Boyle said, don't worry, go ahead and play with them little monkeys because King Kong is coming. When he said that, it made me scream because He knows, number one, that there's still people out there that wants what he has. That's number one. Number two, he's confident in himself that he knows that, you know, my wife is telling me the truth. She not going to sleep with nobody, and she going to respect our bedroom. But I got to know that people still want her. And he's letting me know, I don't care about them. Them little monkeys don't intimidate me, because King Kong is coming. And I said, what? He said, King Kong coming. Let them monkeys flee. When I get there, they'll be running. I just laughed so hard. But as women, that's the power we hold. That's the power we hold. We got to know that we've given the men so much power over our hearts and our life because we don't know what we doing. But yes, total disclosure. Total. I let them know. Such and such called me. I'll never forget this. This might be TMI, but I've never forgot this one guy. He was so nasty. Now, I'm not even going to say it. I'll move on because this is crazy. But anyway, total disclosure. Just total disclosure. Just be honest and open, and make sure when you get to that exclusivity part that you are clear on what exclusivity means in that situation, because it does not mean you are his wife. Evelina Amy says, I want to marry again, but I only want to be with him 3 days a week. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, honey, there is somebody out there that will love you on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is so funny. But if you're really serious, Evelina, you get to create the relationship you want. That's another thing we have as women. You got to be willing to deal with the consequences now, whatever that looks like, good or bad. But you can create whatever relationship you want. Me and my husband have lived apart for damn near 4 years. 4 years. We've been going back and forth from Nigeria to America, back and forth for 4 years. 4 years. So you can do what you want to do. That's why I probably stay so happy, because he ain't here all the time. Okay? Or I'm not over there all the time. So, but we decided to settle here. You know, we got our place and everything now. So he'll be here in a couple of weeks. But you can have a relationship, because I set the tone for that. Because I let him know I wasn't all the way ready to be an everyday wife, because there were things I wanted to do. So Evelina, we laughing with you. But if that's what you want, girl, I know you can get it. So let me keep going. So we talked about attraction and uncertainty, exclusivity. Exclusivity just means he wants to make you his woman. He's really feeling like you can be his baby's mama, or he can marry you or what have you. But you got to set the rules as a woman, because exclusivity doesn't mean that you're his wife. And it also doesn't mean that you get rid of your little booze, okay? But you just let him know that. Number 4, intimacy. Intimacy, some people, once they get to exclusivity, they feel okay with having sex. I didn't have sex with my husband till 4 days before the wedding. And intimacy doesn't necessarily mean sex. Intimacy means this is where you guys feel so comfortable with each other that you know each other's dirt. You know each other's ins and outs. You know what makes each other cry. You know what makes each other happy. You know who hates whose parents and cousins. You know that the job pisses me off. You know each other very deeply. You know things about each other that other people don't know. Or you get deep insight about your partner, and you're able to share that with him without him even telling you. Or he knows deep things about you without you even having to tell him, because he senses it and he knows it, and he knows how to take care of those things. So that is called the intimacy part. It's not necessarily sex, although during this intimacy part is usually when people start to have sex. And here's my thing with sex. Have sex when you want to. Just know that after you get done having sex, ladies, you don't have no more power. Just know that. So when you decide to have sex, make sure you having sex and you agree on the terms and the conditions of what that sex means. Because you open your legs doesn't mean he's going to stay. Or because you open your legs doesn't mean he's yours. And because he opened the legs doesn't mean you're going to get to the altar. Because it doesn't mean that. Okay? So Intimacy is stage 4. Intimacy is we know each other deeply. We know each other inside and out, and it can also include sex. Now, the last stage is stage 5 is engagement. Engagement means because we have made it through all the stages. We have made it through attraction. We have made it through his uncertainty and my uncertainty. We've been exclusive. Look at Latanya talking about girl. We've been exclusive. We are very intimate in terms of our emotional self. We share each other. We get each other. We see each other's ugly sides. He knows I'm bipolar. He knows I cuss. He knows I cry. And he's still there. And everything that he has seen from the attraction stage to the intimacy stage, he's like, I can live with this the rest of my life. Matter of fact, I cannot live without this the rest of my life. So now I am going to propose to her and let us now start planning our wedding. Those are the stages of dating. So now when you are dating, like I said earlier, before I start going into all this, what usually happens is ladies go from attraction stage to intimacy to engagement. That's what we do. We go attraction, intimacy, engagement. Where men may stay, they may do attraction, uncertainty, and they stay in uncertainty. So you're down in engagement and he's in uncertainty. Now, can you see why there's a lot of conflict? Because an engagement means it's time to get married. Uncertainty means I don't even know if I want you. I like you being around. I like how you cook. I like how sexy your body is. But I don't know if you're the one for me. So he's standoffish, but you're ready. You already at the altar looking at David's bridal for your dress. That's what causes the conflict in relationships and dating relationships. Because you're on 2 different stages. So now, as promised, I told you, if you're on different stages, how do you get on the same stage? It's easy. You need an intercultural segment too. African men are a hell of a drug. Girl, Barbie, you are so right. And maybe we need to teach that one together. We need to figure out how to teach that one together. Kimberly C. Brown said, yes, preach. Okay, so now how do we get on the same stage when we on 2 different stages? Tanisha said, yep. How do we get on the same stage? You as a woman, now that you have this information, now that I've given you this information, you need to study to show yourself approved. You need to know this information inside out, backwards, and you need to practice it. And that's why you need to date a lot of guys, because this type of stuff you have to practice. You don't just look at it here and be like, oh, okay, I got it. No, you ain't got it. You need to practice it now, and you need to date a lot to practice it. You're not dating just because you really do want to find that right one. We all did. We all wanted the right one, but you date to know what you need to fix about you. So when you start dating different guys, you're going to practice these different stages in monitoring or observing where your relationships get stuck and identify it. Where do I get stuck? Where do I have the hardest time? Is it stage 2 when it's uncertainty? Is it stage 3 exclusivity? Is it stage 4 intimacy? Is it stage 5? Where are you getting stuck, right? The second thing you're going to know to get on the same page is you're going to model and mirror what stage he's on. So if he's on stage 2 and you notice that he's pulling back, you notice that he's not calling you a lot, you notice that things seem like they're fizzling down, you got to be okay with that, and you got to model that same behavior. You cannot go into overdrive and start calling, oh, I haven't heard from you. I was calling to see if you were okay. That's not your job. He's supposed to be calling you to see if you okay. And if you train a man to do that, you're going to be calling and checking up on him and being his mama your whole life. He's supposed to, so if he mellowing out, guess what you're supposed to do? You mellow out. Learn to mirror their behavior. If it's a yellow light and he done slowed down, you better pump them brakes. Because if you don't pump them brakes, you're getting ready to go into a hard ache. Because your ass going to be down there trying to be in intimacy. You trying to open up and tell him all your life story. And he up in uncertainty. So when he get through hearing your life story and all the tragedy and how you was raped and all of this crap. And he's still up in uncertainty. You just blew the relationship. Because he wasn't ready for intimacy. You just blew it. If you down in exclusivity and he's still in attraction, you blew it. You got to practice staying with the man. He is the head. He is the logical piece. So you are following behind where he is in his process. You need to learn this process so you can follow behind his process. Follow behind his process. And while you're following behind his process, you got 7 other processes going on. And out of all these processes going on, and they know that you're out there enjoying your life and having multiple dates and this, that, and the other, that'll make them get to exclusivity, intimacy, and engagement faster if they're serious about you. If they're not serious about you, they're going to fade away. But what we tend to do, because we always date one man at a time, when they start to fade away, we get angry, start crying, being all upset, being a stalker, being angry at the world. Or we'll say, well, fuck him then, and men are dogs, and I'm just going to bury myself in my work. I don't have time for it. They get on my nerves. They don't never know what they want. No, it ain't that they don't know what they want. They know what they want. They don't want you. And you having a hard time dealing with that. Because you put all your eggs in one basket. Your mama told you don't put all your eggs in one basket, and that includes men. There is a way to make him think he's leading when you are the one driving. That's right. We're the neck, they're the head. He can't turn his head without you. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Do you ladies, they don't naturally nest? No, they do not. Are you ladies getting what I'm saying? Slow your roll. Slow your roll and pay attention to where he is in the process. Why you have all these other dudes, because when he gets to uncertainty, if he decides he don't want to pass go, let him go. But you got 4 other guys that you floating around with. But when you just got that one and he don't really want you, you trying to busy making it work. It ain't gonna work. Let it go. Kimberly C said, okay. Hey, welcome Trina Horton. Okay, ladies, so you know the stages, you know what happens at the stage, and you know what you're supposed to do to get on the same stage. Mirror his behavior. Mirror his behavior. And that's if that's somebody you really are digging. You mirror his behavior. If it's somebody you ain't really digging, let's let him be a comforter and just let him know, no, I'm not interested. We can go out and date. You can take me to dinner. You can take me to the movies, but I'm really not interested. And that's how you deal with that. So that's it.